for early season, you're almost like scout to hunt right there. Is that because food to bedding patterns change from year to year, and it's more about getting on that pattern that they're on that day and that?
I mean, the early season food sources are going to change, and because the woods are so dense early season, a lot of times it seems like the bedding is not even always going to be in the same location as it's going to be once the stuff starts to die off and the leaves start to fall. I learned that a lot once I started traveling out into the Dakotas to hunt early season, and in Nebraska, where there'd be a lot of times I'd go and scout or hunt in areas that look good on a map, and you'd find that historical sign, but the deer just weren't there yet. And you'd bump deer in places that you didn't expect them to be because they seemed too obvious, or they're too close to the road, or whatever reason. Well, maybe back here in Wisconsin or Minnesota, by the time the season opens up and you're hunting in mid-October or whatever, they would be bedding in different locations. But early September was a totally different game. You still had soybeans that were green. You had white oaks that were actively dropping. And you had just these super dense wooded areas that the deer could bed as close as they want. And as long as they weren't getting harassed, there was no reason for them to bed further away. And so I found that when I looked at my numbers, I would do better hunting early season out of state than I would do hunting early season in the states that I live in. I think a lot of times it was because my historical knowledge and the scouting led me to believe that the deer were going to be in areas where they weren't quite at yet.